All right. First to the floor. Celtics late night. Dan Greenberg. What a night. What a night.
What a
stretch.
season. What a life. Who are we right now?
I don't know.
What is happening?
It's been a little while since we've had you on, and feels like a lot has happened. Jaylen Brown is making a case for, I don't even know at this point, first team All-NBA, second team All-NBA. He's playing that well.
If certain guys don't hit the 65 game limit, I mean, I said second team, but then I was like, well, wait a minute. If like Wemby doesn't hit 65, if Durant, you may get first team by default. Shit.
Hey, he's so Celtics win 123-117, and we kind of got it all tonight. You go down 14-2 to start the game, and you're like,
17-4. Yeah, 17-4.
Those early game big leads feel like triple of their actual size.
Unless the Celtics are the one that have that lead. Then I'm like, if the Celtics were up 17-4, they may as well be down 5.
This is the worst thing that ever could happen to them, is being up 17-4. No, the Celtics being down 17-4 is perfect. And they storm all the way back. They go up 19, and then we get to enjoy the PTSD from the second round of last season. And
isn't it just remarkable? Isn't it just remarkable? Like,
what, dude?
It was even in the same way. I mean, in the playoffs, it was Bridges in the mid-range. Today, it was Bridges from 3. And it's honestly, it's like this weird trend of the season where in the final minutes of these games, they're up 7 points. Other teams, remember when James Harden made those back-to-back threes in the Clippers game? And then you had Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland in the Cavs game. It's like, how are these people just never missing in the final?
I don't understand.
When the Celtics are up, I just want to be able to like make it out of a game without sweating a 7-point lead with 45 seconds left.
I think this is just what happens, because then the flip side of it is you play the Minnesota game and you're down 10 with 2 minutes to go, and you somehow tie the game.
You are the one that does it. Yeah. So
and then you
it's
lose.
One of those things where like it happens to every team. I just think we're all so traumatized that we're like, it happens every fucking game that we play, where it's like they close them out, but it's like when it's a 3-possession game with 90 seconds left, I feel like that needs to just be a stress-free moment. And it's been anything but at least they're on the right side of it, On
the right side of it, the Knicks went on a 12-0 run in like 50 seconds. It was like the flagrant foul, Mikal Bridges 3, and 1 on a Josh Hart. It went from feeling like a comfortable win to like it was under a minute, and the game was back to being a clutch game. And
I mean, they got 9 points on 2 possessions. That's pretty freaking insane.
It's brutal.
You're up double digits. You don't really expect 2 possessions to see that lead, 75% of that lead or whatever the math is to evaporate. It's like, and it wasn't even like they were suspect calls. Like that was an easy and 1 on Cat. It was an obvious foul flake, situation on the 3. So it's like, I don't know. I guess you just need better situational awareness. I mean, just let Towns get the dunk. Don't foul. Sure. Like you're not going to block him. So just let him get it, I guess. But yeah, I mean, they survived. But those are the things that, bad teams do to lose games. You just were fortunate enough that, you made enough plays in the final minute. Thanks to Jordan Walsh. So
thanks to Jordan Walsh. I mean, what a time to be a person who goes for Boston sports fans. You get to live the MVP season of Drake May, and we also get to be here for the Jordan Walsh assance. And I mean,
it might be the wildest thing I can remember. When have we seen someone go for 3 straight years, 2.5 straight years of DMP coach's decision to now? Like, this is the jump that when we were like, man, it'd be so sweet if
it'd be so cool.
Hit. This is what it is.
It's so crazy.
This is what it looks like. And
this is so crazy.
And it's not happening against the Wizards, right? It's happening in these huge games against playoff. Everyone thinks the Knicks are the best team in the East. Well, they just got, walked down by Jordan Walsh in the final 90 seconds, 2.5 minutes of this game. And he wasn't even playing a month ago.
We talked about how like he was not a guarantee to make the team because he had like a partial guaranteed contract and like they might be on the fringe of or either wanting to save a roster spot or duck the tax depending on what happened with the rosters. And then I want to say that's his 8th straight start and that's his second clutch time like stamp. He had the game stealing 3 against the Magic. Yep. And tonight, multiple offensive rebounds. And this is the second game as well. He had the passes to the corner, Jaylen Brown, as well. Was that the Cleveland game? Where they were using him in the short. It's all a blur, but like where he had those 2, and they went to him again in the short roll in clutch time, looking like Jason Tatum again, like the D White Jaylen Brown 2-man game or the Jaylen Brown Tatum. They've got Jordan Walsh in the middle, 2 feet, make a decision. He finds Minot in the corner for 1-3. He finds Minot again above the break.
On the wing.
Misses it. Walsh gets the offensive rebound.
I think that's the most noticeable thing is he knows how to where he has to go and what he has to do with the ball, right? Like when Jaylen found him, the first thing I love that he did was when Jaylen got doubled, he made himself a target. Yeah. He used his big ass wingspan and was like, hey, like you can see, I know things are crazy. You probably can't see through this double team, but like just throw it up. Then when they threw him the ball, he went and got it, right? He didn't wait for it to come to him. Then immediately, once he has the ball, he was finding the weak side shooter. He knew exactly where he had to go before he even had the ball. It's like remember when Luke Cornett made that passing leap? Remember when Jason Tatum made that passing leap? You put him at the nail in the bubble and he all of a sudden can break the Miami zone. Like that is the type of reading of a defense and a situation that I don't think Walsh was confident enough to make 6 weeks ago, right? Like that I think you get through experience. And now that he's playing and has succeeding in these moments, you can't keep him off the floor.
No, and man, Missoula, I just pulled all the right levers because last game, Jordan Walsh plays 38 minutes. And after the game, Missoula's just talking about Walsh and his favorite play of that game was where he strips DeAndre Hunter and then goes up and gets fouled. And he just talks about how, like, this is the version of Jordan Walsh that we believe that he can be night in, night out. And Walsh is learning that he can be this guy. So he plays 38 minutes against Cleveland on a back-to-back, leads the team, which like 38 minutes, again, more than Jaylen Brown, more than Peyton Pritchard, more than Derek White.
It's crazy. But you had to because he was so good defensively.
He was awesome. 14 and 11 last game. And tonight, the cat matchup is tough. Like Tatum was your cat defender in the playoffs. And Jordan Walsh got that assignment early in this game. And I think in 5 years, maybe Jordan Walsh, like Tatum, is able to guard Cat, but when Tatum was 21, he was not able to guard centers in the right way.
Those big, 240-pound centers is a little bit of a different beast.
And so instead of Walsh, who he only plays 19 minutes tonight, but then in comes Hugo Gonzalez. Let's pull this next lever.
What a lever! What a lever pull,
dude!
What a lever pull.
He was our best Cat defender. And again, it's not perfect with Ugo, like the foul, as we mentioned before on Mikal Bridges, who the rare commits the flagrant foul, but Ugo is the one who actually twists his ankle. So that was
like a double kick in the nuts. Like, come on, man.
Impressive.
Yeah.
But he was awesome, and he had some great defense on Brunson. Like he can kind of get beat on some quicker guys, but man. He gets back into plays and he's always available to make a play at the rim, help defense.
Yeah, I thought it was really noticeable, when they guarded with Walsh or even with Jaylen or Keita, they were reactionary towards Cat. They allowed him to sort of, get momentum and use his physicality. He just weighs more than those guys. With Ugo, as soon as they made that switch, he was in that dude's asshole. Yeah. Like he was. Like he could not move Like, and that is what frustrated Cat, and that's what got him to rush and to force and to try to draw fouls instead of focus on, finishing at the rim like he was. I mean, he was moving Kate out of the way with ease.
Yeah.
But if you remember, with Ugo in him, he tried to put the ball on the floor. Now you got Ugo's wingspan is making it tough for him. And I just think it was another, just like the Cleveland game where he came in, dove on the floor, got that steal, and then hit the three. Ugo comes in today, completely flips the game in the second quarter. Like, it's not even a debate as to when this game turned. And it all started with his chaos and his defense. Then you had offensive rebounds. He had that nice drive to the rim. Everyone thought he was going to shoot the three. He attacked the rim. It's like 19 years old. He's giving you playable minutes against a conference favorite.
It's wild. So, he comes in.
How do I ignore that? He
comes in the second. He plays the entire second quarter. He played all 12 minutes in the second quarter. And I'm just
guarded every position.
Guards every position. He had a really nice. It was a layup in that like on a fast. I want to say maybe it was on a fast break. I'm gonna pull it up here. He has 4 rebounds, and in classic Ugo fashion, he also had 3 fouls in a single quarter because that's kind of
crazy.
It was offensive rebound on Jordan Clarkson. So the Celtics are down. It's right at the beginning of the second quarter. Celtics are down 13. Jaylen pulls a 3. Ugo kind of swim moves Jordan Clarkson, gets the offensive rebound and puts it back in, cuts it to 11. And so
that was like his first 30 seconds on the court or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
His impact is immediate. And
that's just what he does.
We've seen that. And that's every time he comes into a game, right? It's almost hard to fathom, but then I do think there's something to the idea of this guy's played professionally. Like, that's the thing you're always going to hear. Oh, he has, all this experience. Well, I don't think that's bullshit because he's coming in and he knows what to do. He's confident in his ability, and he doesn't feel like he feels like he's imposing his will on games and not the other way around. You know what I mean? And to see that, I feel like you only get because this situation in this environment isn't new to you. Like, he does not feel intimidated, and he's 19 years old. Like, that's
like really, yeah.
The last time we saw a 19-year-old not be intimidated, it was Jason Tatum. I mean, dead ass though. Like, he's come in and he does not feel. I mean, he's guarding centers. He's getting into the body of Cat. He's guarding Brunson in space. Like, these are all NBA players.
Yeah. I mean, Jimmy J in the chat, it's like saying, you laughed when I said play Jordan Walsh. And hand up, I was wrong. And I mean, you contrast it with Jordan Walsh. He looked like a deer in headlights for his first 2 seasons in the NBA anytime he was on the court with the starters. And that's very
right. But he played a season of college and then had almost no professional experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it makes sense. Yeah, like he's been with Real Madrid since he was 9 years old thing. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a cliche, but I mean, it's true. And I guess when you're around men for that long, the dude is clearly psychotic to an extent.
Yeah.
He was bleeding from the mouth at one point tonight with like the shit-eating grin on his face. He's on the sideline just like screaming into the abyss. Joe Mazzulla, man, like, this team is very much built and playing in his image. Like, everyone is playing so hard, and that's why this team is so easy to root for. We haven't had a team like this. I was texting my dad afterwards. He said it reminds him of the IT team, and it's like Jaylen playing the Isaiah Thomas
role. Yeah.
Yeah, and then everybody else is just filling in around the gaps.
I'm trying to think. Smart was what, like a year 2 guy, right? Something like that.
Year 2 or 3. Yep.
Because I was gonna say, there's like your Ugo, right?
Yeah.
Like a 6, like he's your hustle. Can't really shoot, but he'll make a 3 every once in a while. But a winning play guy.
Who's Jay Crowder?
Who else was on that team?
Crowder, Olynyk.
Who would be your? I mean, Garza's your slow white Kelly Olynyk. He's your slow big man.
Well, he's kind of is it Hauser? He's kind of your slow white, but not so slow. I guess but this team is younger. That team was kind of full of scrappy veterans who, Evan Turner, who was cast away from being the second overall pick, and then Brad Stevens gets him in here and earns him a
80 million or whatever.
$80 million contract. And Jordan Walsh is kind of playing. It's all instead of it being like scrap heap veterans, this team is like young, unproven second round picks. Like, okay, like the people that like I've been getting dunked on a little bit on Twitter, for saying that this team should tank, or they're not good, and like I'm very happy to be wrong. Like, but we talked about how this season can be a win-win. It's like if they're better than we think, and it's what's funny is like there was a scenario where it could have been Pritchard takes an all-star leap, or Derek goes above his head, Jaylen's taken a leap, and that's why they kind of go above 500. But the preferable route was the reason they go above 500 is because some of these young guys hit. And so I'm very happy.
Tonight's a perfect example of it, right? Who made all your plays down the stretch of this game? Josh Minot and Jordan Walsh.
He's
21, 22. So like that's what I mean.
Just talked about Ugo.
If they're winning games and Ugo, right? Like those are your young unproven players. If you're winning games and they are main contributors, to me that's just as valuable as like the 11th pick. Because Jordan Walsh is going to be ready to contribute on a playoff team right away. You know, like for that question to me is over. Like I don't have to worry. Oh, can Jordan Walsh fit? Can this version of Jordan Walsh fit next to Jason Tatum? I'm pretty goddamn sure he can.
I think so.
You know what I mean? So it's like if that's what this season was about. Who of these guys are you going to allow to play next to Jason Tatum when you're trying to win a title? And honestly, all of their young unproven players have played well in their opportunity.
Yeah. Oh,
for me, it's the story of their season. It's not Jaylen's like ascension as his number one. Like he's an all NBA player, finals MVP. Like this isn't telling me anything about Jaylen I didn't already know. The story of the season is that from Baylor to Ugo to Walsh to Minot, in their opportunities, they've all played well. Who could you say has fumbled their opportunity? Like Chris Boucher? Like I don't know. Like Boucher everyone has played well.
Yeah. Boucher and Gaza, but I don't even think Gaza's fumbled. I just think that like he's who he is. But you're absolutely right. Like I'm not shocked that Jaylen Brown is playing this well. This was in the realm of outcomes to me, like pretty comfortably.
Right. I mean, am I surprised that he's like dropping 40 every night, shooting 80% from mid-range? Like, sure. But like, it doesn't surprise me that an all NBA player is playing at an all NBA level. You know what I mean?
But I knew, and we got it on the broadcast today, like the dude that every time it feels like he may have hit his ceiling, or every time it feels like it's time to say goodbye to Jaylen Brown, like Game 7 of the Miami Heat series in 2023, or Jaylen Brown's overpaid on his first contract. He just comes back better. He finds a new Aquaman workout to do, and now he's able to level up on the broadcast. Today we found out that he can hold his breath for 5 minutes under the water. I'm not sure if we knew that.
I think I remember when he first put out the video of like the underwater stuff. I feel like he said that, but I mean, even still, that's an insane amount of time. I feel like.
I googled the world record. It's 29 minutes. So I do believe.
I mean, I can't do like 35 seconds.
No, and getting over a minute is for the average person is like 5 minutes is so insane. And then he had a fast break and he finished over Tyler Kolek, and Mike Tirico hit like a Jaylen Brown with the two, puts Tyler Kolek underwater with that one. And I was like, oh shit, that's a bar, Tirico. Okay.
Listen, it was a tough enough broadcast to listen to. I can't, I hate when Reggie Miller does Celtic Knick game, but that's a separate topic. But
I like Tirico though. I think he's good. I do like him. But so yeah, the Jaylen Brown, like kind of returning to finals MVP form and kind of who he was in 2024, and like the dude that's kind of proved the doubters wrong every step of the way. Less surprising than Neemias Queta being like the advanced stat darling of the NBA season across the NBA. Jordan Walsh playing 38 minutes in certain games and beating the Cleveland Cavaliers on a back-to-back on their home floor. Josh Minot
couldn't get off the bench in Minnesota. And
like
he's 11 for his last 17 from three.
These guys, I'm sorry I didn't see Cater, Jordan Walsh, Josh Minot, Baylor Scheinman's also been pretty good too. And by the way, also Hugo Gonzalez, the 19-year-old dude that they picked with the 28th overall pick, has also looked like one of the steals of the draft. It's not just like, oh, I wonder if one of these things hits, that'll be big for the future of the Celtics.
Maybe two.
All five of them have exceeded expectations right now. So you don't need to tank if Brad Stevens can just spawn 5 good young players.
Right. Because they're all 19, 21, 22. Like if you're
Baylor's like 100 years old, but other than
I know, maybe not. Baylor's like, 35. But like if you're saying you have the next 3 to 5 years of true title contention, then you need players that are ready to play starting the minute Jason Tatum is back. You don't know. There's and let's say you get like the 16th pick. You can still pick someone that's pretty good at a position of need at 16. I just think there's so much long-term value in these young players proving to be, hits, and that they're all cost controlled on minimums. Like you can't overlook getting starter quality play for $2.5 million a year when you're playing 2 supermaxes. It's the needle that Brad has to thread, and he's 5 for 5, and we haven't even really seen Amari Williams yet. Like,
hey, great foul tonight from Amari Williams.
We were so nervous, rightfully so, that like, what if Brad can't draft? Because it's the one thing that we just haven't seen. Walsh was his first one. I don't know. Like,
it looks like a hit to me at the 38th overall pick.
Right. Like, what if he's good at drafting?
And like drafting these points in the draft.
Like, wouldn't you feel so much better about Brad picking at like 16 if you realize that he's just on a heater? He just is actually good at evaluating draft talent. It's just hard for us to know because they never played, right? Like other people's first round picks, they play a lot. So you can have an idea of if it's a hit or miss or not. But on this team, they were buried on the bench. So we had it's not that Jordan Walsh wasn't always good. We just had to see him do it to even find out what kind of player he is. And it turns out he might be pretty good. Like
I guess it's not that surprising when you think that he identified Luke Cornett and turned him into one of the best backup big men in the NBA. He identified Derek White as a star role player hiding in plain sight in San Antonio. Sam Hauser as one of the great undrafted gems of the past few seasons. Like the Drew Holiday trade was an obvious move to make. The Porzingis deal, not something that anyone saw coming, and I think that one's a little less of like a clear home run. But the dude's pretty much been touched by God on most of his transactions. And then you remember that he was also like, there was a question at one point where who would you take? These top 5 players or Brad Stevens as a coach? So I guess wouldn't be that surprising if Brad Stevens is also good at drafting because he's literally basketball.
But you have to see it. Like you have to see it. And nobody's perfect. Like every GM has misses, but where he was picking, if you're able to find multiple hits at 44, 38, 30, like those are extremely, extremely valuable when you have a roster that has 130 million tied up in 3 guys. You need to find cheap, young, playable talent if you want to contend with this core. Like if you don't want to break up your core, if that's your only path to contention, because you're only going to have, let's say, the taxpayer mid-level, which is like $5 million. You have the Porzingis $22 million trade exemption, but like you may not even use that. They almost never do. So when you think of how this team surrounds Tatum with an influx of talent, if Jordan Walsh and Minot and Ugo can be playable players for you and they make nothing, that is like it's bought your core more time together, essentially, because you won't have to trade Derek White to get 2 nickels for, 10 cents, or, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to break up your dollar bill for two, half dollars or whatever. If your young guys can translate and actually be real players.
I can't believe I got to mention the Al Horford trade. Of course, that was kind of the domino that started it all. But yeah, I'm just so we're 21 games in. Yeah, that's a pretty good sample size now. It still feels like we have to wait and see to an extent, but like Walsh has been good for 8, 9. Like he started 8 consecutive, but he's been good in like 9 or 10 straight games now. Obviously, there's been hasn't been perfect, but he's been additive, impactful.
He's been a starter level player for his role, I feel like. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's not like, last season, it was kind of easy to see, like, you can kind of throw anybody out there in that 5th spot and be like, look, you're surrounded by Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Jrue Holiday. It's like, whatever. But the fact that Walsh is thriving this season when he's not surrounded by the immense talent, that he speaks to what you're saying. It's like he actually is kind of playing starter level basketball.
And to be fair, it does feel like same thing with Minot. Teams they're going to be the ones that are challenged to make shots, right? Yeah, so they're going to say, we're going to live if Jordan Walsh and Josh Minot beat us shooting the basketball. So when you see more so Walsh, his production is coming off offensive rebounds. He's not as consistent of a catch and shoot guy just because he doesn't really get the same type of looks that Minot does. Right. Like he's just that's not his role within this system at the moment. So when you think of his next step, it's like, okay, what type of self-creation is there? What type of catch and shoot situation? Because eventually teams are going to say, if you're on the floor, we're going to dare you to beat us, and we're going to stay close to White and Brown and Pritchard, and we'll live. And tonight, Minot made the threes. Jaylen got doubled. Walsh made the right read. Those are threes you have to make in this role. It's the same. That is the Al Horford safety valve 3, right? Everyone would double off Tatum and Brown. Al Horford would make that weak side 3. That's what Minot does. And Walsh, in his limited low volume, is shooting like 37%. But I still, would say the rebounding and the defense looks ready. The offense, he still just kind of produces on like broken plays or energy plays, stuff like that.
But the shot for Walsh is definitely trending in the right direction. Right.
It's just low volume. It's just low
volume. Yeah. The accuracy is definitely going up. The shot looks better. That's definitely something that we saw tonight. Minot being left open. Ugo was left open late. Walsh being left open late, and that was why Walsh had that great drive and looked like he was going to try and yam it on someone. But man, I
thought so too.
Great body control he has to like take contact and then finish over guys. But again, and we've been talking about this in the First to Four Discord, is that does Hauser feel a little expendable at now because you have all these other wings? But this game, it wasn't like Hauser wasn't, playing a lot. It didn't feel like a Hauser game. They start leaving the other wings open. Missoula goes back to Hauser to close the game, has a huge 3, and then locks up Jalen Brunson down the stretch. So it's like, as much as I
like you also have to remember, like, Hauser is for Jason Tatum. Yes. Right? Like, because when Jason Tatum is on the floor, defenses collapse. When defenses collapse, I want a lifetime 40% shooter to be the one that they are now forced to help off of. So even though your other young wings are playing well and they are good at certain things and have good size and are rangy and are quick, Sam Hauser's skill set, like Baylor Shireman even, is not a replacement level shooter for Sam Hauser. So you have to keep in mind, this is about surrounding Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown with the best pieces to, encourage their success. A dead-eye shooter like that is, because if we didn't have it and teams were helping off and life would be hell with Jason Tatum, the driving lanes would be gone. We'd be saying, man, like if only we had more consistent outside shooting. So for me, I almost feel like unless Sam Hauser is traded for a player in return that's like a proven shooter, I don't think you can get rid of his skill set for how important it is next to Jason Tatum.
Or the perfect big. That would be the other one. If that, I don't, which doesn't exist for 10 million, but maybe
right. Or even if you, even 37, even if you combine it with
Simons,
there's just like,
I would do Simons and Hauser for Zubats.
And change because you'd be over. Zubac only makes 19.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, but because you can send out that much.
Would I do that? I don't know. Because like
you have to.
How much better? I don't know.
I think you have to. So yeah, it's an interesting one because obviously, but you still have Derek, you have Pritchard, you have Jaylen from a shooting perspective, and then Tatum. So you can play 4 shooters.
Yeah, in theory, but like those guys, aside from White and like Jaylen floats around 34, 35. Tatum floats around 34, 35 just because of the difficulty. That's a big difference than like an automatic 40%.
I don't want. I think it's an interesting thing, and I don't think it's a question that gets answered now. I think that would be like, how real are these wings? Do they keep trending in the right direction? Do they keep showing you more and more as the season goes along? Because I'm with you. Because like right now, you don't have what Hauser gives you.
You need shooting in 2025. Yeah. You just do. And this team still takes. The 3 is still important. We just saw tonight how important it can be. And he's on such a good deal. I hate to get rid of good, valued, important skill sets.
Totally.
I don't know. So it's like, just find a center for 27 million and not 37.
Well, you just trade Simons for Zubats, forget the Hauser part of it. And we're good to go.
Like give him Baylor, like the Timu Hauser. Just like they're both white. They can both shoot. Like, I don't know.
Hauser is shooting 50% from 3 this year. Brando in the chat, how good will Zubats be in 1.5 years? I think Zubats is like 28. So like he's like the perfect fit. I don't think that they can or will trade him because like that would be essentially just handing OKC a top 5 pick if they don't already plan on doing that.
But by February, it may not even matter. That's just the thing. Is like we all like are so now that we're thinking like, hey, this team could be pretty good. It's like we really just have to take a breath and wait until February that we won't like if they are offloading and aren't bringing stuff back and get under the the luxury line. That changes the outlook of their season. If they use the trade deadline to maybe lower their salary but fill a position of need, that means something different for their, so it's like there's still so much unknown that we just won't know for another 2 months. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those, like, you want to know who your team is going to be, but this entire, on a night-to-night basis is fluid. Like, we don't know who's going to be, the starting lineup against the Wizards for all we know. It's just one of those things where you have to wait it out.
Yeah, I think while we have a pretty good sample size now, like you take out those first 3 games where you go 0-3 and you have you go 2-5 in clutch time. Like now this team is kind of showing you they can win close games and they can be good in close games as opposed to when we come on.
But it also, and it shows you
game.
Just how much of those clutch records are just execution. Like if Peyton Pritchard makes one of his 2 jumpers on the opener against the Sixers, they win that game. So like, are you bad in the clutch because Peyton Pritchard, who we've now seen has become, Steve Nash in the mid-range, like that's a good shot for him this year. So it's like, are you not good in the clutch because he missed a shot that he's making all year? I don't know. But it's like, sometimes those shots are going to go in. I would just prefer, don't put yourself in a clutch situation when you're up 18 points in the 4th quarter. Like maybe that's a game where you cannot have a clutch time, situation. So
sorry, my dog is tearing apart my surf towel in front of me here. So
classic
10-month-old Labrador jeans. But yeah, so this game, Cater has been so important, but again to Missoula, not stubborn enough not stubborn to where
to stay in his way. Yep.
Like in theory, it's like, man, Mitchell Robinson, Cat, you kind of need Cater out there, but the small ball lineups were far more effective against Cat and Mitchell Robinson than Cater was. And man, like he's just doing such a good job. I don't think he will win Coach of the Year because I don't think that they'll be good enough, and the award typically goes to a bit like a higher record. But the Eastern Conference is close enough. He's just jumped onto the table chasing flies. Jesus Christ. But like I like Spo was going to be. Is it going to be a time that he finally gets one? But if the Celtics and they're 2 games apart, like they had very similar over unders.
I mean, listen, they have the second most wins against teams 500 or better in the NBA. Yeah. Okay, tell me what team loses their best player and 5 of their top 9, and seemingly can reshape themselves and stay as competitive as they've looked, and while also getting this growth and development from young players. So it's like,
yeah.
What is he? He didn't win Coach of the Year when he won 57 games after being named the coach 30 seconds before the season. He didn't win Coach of the Year when they were historically dominant for some unknown reason. Like, that's somehow easy to do. Yeah. Then they won the title. Then they backed up the title with 61 wins, and he still didn't win it. So I do not think he'll win it. I don't even think he'll get consideration. But anybody who's watching, this is arguably his most impressive coaching season of his career.
Right,
and they're barely over 500.
Yeah, top 5 in offense. It's so impressive. And like one of the most important thing for any coach is to get like collective buy-in and be able to build an identity and to have like the fact that all these guys are hitting and playing well and being able to thrive in their roles is such a huge testament to Missoula. Like I still can't quite fully wrap my head around that. Like they played 11 guys tonight, and Cater, Walsh, Minot, Ugo were behind Jaylen Brown. Maybe we need to talk about Derek White because he was pretty fantastic tonight. But Jaylen Brown, 42 points. Obviously, he's like the superhero on this team. But then Missoula is just Doctor Strange behind him, pulling all
any given night. It can be any of them. And those who play hard and are committed to this, like he says it all the time, right? Like we just need to maintain the standard. It's like that's what you have to remember. The core and the foundation of this team is they're champions. They know what it takes to win. So they're in this weird limbo year because of their roster situation. So I think that has helped the growth and development, because it's not like you're developing on the Wizards where there isn't that standard and foundation of winning. It's like, when teams would join, the Patriots of old, it's like you just have to figure it out. And if you do, you're going to put yourself in positions to do some really crazy things. And I think the way that he's been able, and I think, Walsh being around the team for the last 2 years, like that helps his development and understanding of, how he needs to play. And it's just, good coaches find a way, right? Like that's all this is. Do we have to revamp our offense? Okay, we're going to lead the NBA in mid-range. What? Yeah. Like they've doubled their mid-range attempts. They're taking more 2s than 3s. Their 3-point attempt rate is down. Their post-up offense is gone. Like they're generating offense and they're playing so differently that you only do that through coaching, right? Like they're the ones who come up with the scheme. They're to figure out how to play. And the fact that they have a top 5 offense without their best player, like we were worried about how this team was going to score 100 points in the offseason, right? Now they're top 5 in the NBA in offense without Jason Tatum is the sun that everything orbits around. Like he had the ball all the time. And yet here they are producing at this type of level is unbelievable.
This is a really tough one for the Missoula ball haters.
It really is.
Like
you would think the title would have been enough. Like
you would think
pretty good, like not everyone wins a championship, but seeing and the thing that creates is when you hear what they say is like, oh, he's like he doesn't know what he's doing. He's so stubborn. He doesn't change anything. It's like, are we all watching the same basketball team and how they're playing? Because it's nothing like we've seen at any point in the Missoula era.
It is awesome because, like, I think Missoula would admit that he was not perfect, and he would admit that like right now that he hasn't been a perfect coach this season as well. And what's awesome about Brad and what's awesome about Missoula, it's why they have Kaizen tattooed on the training room in the practice facility. The art of the growth mindset. And Missoula last season, like, I don't know, was there a version of this Jordan Walsh in there last year? We're never going to know the answer to that question.
No, yeah, we'll never know.
And like we always kind of talked about, is there a small ball answer to some of the stuff we're seeing? And are you ever going to see that?
Tatum at the 5. How often were we just play Tatum at the 5 and go with the the 5 out? It's maybe not the same. The small ball is a little bit different now, right? Like now it's
you can really see the vision. It's like, okay, oh shit, now you replace Sam Hauser and some of these small ball lineups with Tatum or Ugo with Tatum, right? Like these lineups get really interesting. But he wasn't willing to do that. It was always quite a tight rotation, not playing young guys. And we didn't want to come into the season and be like, oh, don't run these veterans into the ground. You have to develop. And tonight, he literally plays every single one. Obviously, he's tried Amari Williams in the fucking Pistons game. Oh, no, it was
no, it was Pistons, right?
Yeah, Pistons game. Yeah, he was awesome against Duren. It's like that is something that we were not sure that he could do. And you just rattled off the mid-range and all the lack of post-ups, like clearly changing the way they play, changing the way their defense operates by hunting turnovers and being more willing to foul, clearly being a malleable coach. The team's fucking fun, man. Like they won me.
It's
like
crazy.
The Minnesota game was the first game I watched this season where I felt the same way that I normally feel when I watch games, where I was living and dying with every possession. The Pistons game really turned it. And then the Jaylen Ant duel was like, had me going again. And then the Cavs game had me feeling the old things. And then tonight it's like, well, fuck. And we're back.
I'm in. But honestly, like that's how you should feel. But then the next time that they lose, you then just have to tell yourself, you can also feel okay about that. Again, you got to just play both sides because both outcomes help you, especially in games like tonight where it was your young guys that really helped you down the stretch and had real moments against a real team in high leverage situations. Like you can't draw it up. If you were to say, man, what's my ideal situation? It's, if they're presented with that situation, will they come through? Will they perform? I don't know, to do it on a big, NBC night, national TV against a conference favorite that just beat you in the last time you played. Like, I don't know. To me, that matters. It's like,
yes,
you should feel good about that. You should allow that to take your brain to dangerous play. I mean, they're playing at a 46 win pace and they have a net rating and a point differential of a 50 win team. So it's like, in what world would you never enjoy 50 win level basketball? Like that's pretty freaking good. So it's just a testament. I thought, at this point I was wrong. I was at the 37, 39 range. I just thought their defense and their rebounding was going to be too much of an issue. But if they can hold their own on the glass, if their offense is going to be this good, that's how you get into the mid 40s. And it's just, again, without their all-NBA player. Like, you have to remember, we're not like the other tanking teams that aren't adding the fifth best player in the NBA. Like, we get to bring that back in addition to everything we're seeing now.
It's so weird, the rebounding. Like, we're literally dead last in the NBA in defensive rebounding percentage. Yeah. But it feels better. We're 26th in the last 15 games. How about the last 10? Because it feels like it's somewhat better. Maybe it's just being balanced out with offensive rebounds. The last 10 games, we're 13th.
Okay. Well, I bet you they're 7-3. I bet you they're
rebounding. That's defensive rebounding. No, 25th. 25th.
Oh, well, like they can't rebound.
But they are seventh in offensive rebounding. So that's where it's being counteracted. The only piece is like, do we get a Jaylen Brown injury? Like he's played every game so far. Like that's the part that we obviously can't predict. And like if that happens, but at the same time, we missed Cater for 2 games and we won against the Pistons and the Cavs. So like this team obviously like just has.
Yeah, but I think there's a little bit of a difference. I mean,
I know, but
he's the only one that can create a shot.
Hey man, yeah, you are right. The team dude, they desperately need everything that Jaylen Brown is giving them, and he's giving them everything. Last question, I guess, before we leave here. Is this the finest year of the Jays era? I think
No.
it's easily the rookie. It's either 2024, the
Yeah, I
championship
was gonna
year.
say it was pretty fun when they were up 30
Yeah,
every single
every
night and
night.
just an absolute they touched basketball god in 2024.
Yeah,
That is the funnest
but it
season.
always had this shroud of expectation, and it was like in reflection, it was like the best season of ever. But like every loss felt like, God damn it, they have to win the title.
Yeah, but when you're
Basically,
that level, that shit's exciting. Like that's the good stuff. Is
fair.
when you're good enough to have that expectation. That's like a blessing. You want your team to be that good that there's that level of pressure. This is like I think the Isaiah years is a great comparison because that team made a deep run. They weren't, a title favorite or, legitimate contender, but they had an all NBA player. And on any given night, they could beat anybody. They played hard as shit. They had, guys that were, rooting for hard. It was what, year 3 or 4 of Brad, the same way it's year 3 or 4 of Joe. So I think the comp is the Isaiah year. I like that one.
At Tatum rookie season, like obviously the Hayward injury was a disaster, but yeah, that the Milwaukee Philly series into the Cavs in 7, like that Jason Tatum, I think we just found like a future superstar type guy. That's one of my favorite seasons as well.
Every season they play is a fun season for me. If we're being honest, that's what makes it so sad that we were robbed of one of them. So,
it's all right. It's been a pretty good run, and they're really. They just refuse to let us, and I really appreciate it. Like they beat us down. It only took 20 games, but they beat us down, and we're like, no, we like Celtics pride, whatever cliche you want to use. That it's a real thing.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like.
And honestly, they're like the only team on the planet that can give you every human emotion alive in 2.5 hours. Like within the same game, they look like the best team on the planet, and then the next quarter, they look like a team that's never played basketball before. It's fascinating. It's infuriating, but it's like I'm hooked. They got me. It's just like the way that they play, they have me. And that's what's nice about having, no bad outcome. It sounds like a cop out, but like, I'm happy that they won today. I wouldn't have been devastated if they lost it because I know that a loss in a weird way helps you. So it's, you play both sides, you always come out on top.
And there's like a little bit of extra cherry on top when you beat the Knicks and you beat the Cavs and you beat the Pistons. It's like,
right. And the Magic,
this is supposed to be the year that you guys kick the shit out of us, and you still can't do it.
Right. It's like, the Bills had their chance, but now Drake May is here and you're all in big trouble. So it's like the same thing. Jason Tatum is coming, you idiots. Like you are blowing your opportunity because once he's back, they have the best, duo in the NBA. So it's just
when you come for the king,
number 2? Who has a better number 2 right now than Jaylen Brown?
No one. Yeah. If you come for the king, you better not miss. And right now, everyone's missing. The Buffalo Bills, the New York Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like, it's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. I know there was no OG Anunoby tonight, but there was no Jason Tatum. So,
right. I don't feel bad for that. You're supposed to be the pride of the conference. You're supposed to be the favorite. You should beat a depleted Celtics team that is missing their best player. And so what if you didn't have OG? You got 10 threes from Mikal Bridges. So like, what the fuck's the difference?
Fuck that. And the Josh Hart starting 4
and he was 4 for 4. Like
that's
garbage. Yeah, it's garbage.
Greedy, this is a pleasure. The Knicks really delivered a fun one for us. The Boston Celtics, I guess, delivered a fun one for us. The Celtics are 12-9, 46 win pace with the Wizards coming up, and the schedule does lighten up a little bit. Like, we got Lakers at home on the weekend.
Yeah, I think they go Wizards. They go Wizards Lakers Thursday, but both Lakers and Celtics are on a back-to-back in that game.
Okay, well, that's good. I guess is that it's even. Well, why do that?
Yeah.
The NBA. But yeah, there's a couple Pacers games coming up. We have a couple Raptors games coming up, which I'm intrigued by because I haven't watched many Raptors games.
They're just like you, high ball pressure, defense. They've been healthy all year, but their opponent I was looking this up. It was like they went from 18th to like 4th in opponent points per game. Like their defense is legit. And I remember they gave them problems in the preseason with their ball pressure. So it's like, it might be 2019 all over again, where it's like you and Toronto are just the class of the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, Jamal Shed is going to be getting up in Jaylen Brown's grill.
Yeah. So I mean, but I feel like you have to respect them. They are not the Raptors of the last 3 or 4 years, for sure.
Yeah, my brain's still coming to grips with that reality, but yeah, if we're going to give credit to the Celtics, and the Raptors being 15-7 is real. So, Greeny, it's been a pleasure. Everybody in the chat, appreciate you. Till next
time. Up late.
Staying up late. Yeah, where we're at. It's 5 p.m. here. It's actually getting to nighttime on this end of the world as well. All right. Appreciate everybody. Peace.